Yeah, good morning, everyone. So, last session we discussed some semantic elements. We learned about semantic elements, how we can use the semantic elements in designing the contents in the page. Till now, what are the semantic elements in body section we learned? Body semantics. We discussed about how to use header and footer. We learned about section and main. Nav is navigation, and we use div and span. We used also article. Article also we discussed. Aside also, no, we will see them. These are the options we used for designing the page. Have you practiced them? All header footer designs and main section design, everything you tried, right? So today we will see some more concepts, means other elements, a simple basic we'll see. So after understanding this, we have to learn about some options, like we have an aside. In the semantic elements, we have aside. Actually, what is purpose of aside? Purpose of aside is nothing but it represents content which is not relative to current page. Represents content which is not relative to current page. That means in a web page, you are displaying something which is not related to that page. In that case, we call it as what? Aside. Mostly what we do is, so it is mostly used for ads, advertisements. If a website is displaying some advertisements, the advertisements are displayed by using this aside. Actually, advertisement contains pictures and all. Those pictures we will see later. Initially, what is the purpose of aside? The main purpose of aside is to display something which is not related to the current page. Not only that, it is also used for navigating to the networks of current page. It is also used to the navigating to the networks of current page. Networks of current page, usually it will be social bars. You can call them as social bar. Social bar means you have your website. In that website, you will display some information. But in that website, you have some social networking links which will navigate from that website to Facebook, Twitter, and all. Then this is defined in which area? Aside. For example, we will see one simple point how to design. Let's take one website here. So we are having a website like Inox Movies. This is a website. In this Inox Movies website, you can see this website have some social links, and you can see they are present here right side corner. Right side bottom corner, this is called aside. That means actually you can keep anywhere. Some websites keep bottom of page. You saw shopper template we designed. In shopper template where they kept this in the footer. But sometimes you will see here. And here, how it is kept, you can observe when I am scrolling the page that is present there fixed. It is not moving. So that means a small aside bar is present, which is fixed, which is not moving. Later we can make it functional. Functional means we can make it work. When user clicks on that, Facebook will open, Twitter will open, we can do that. But initially design is important. Let's see how to create such design. In this design, what is the behavior? It should be at the bottom corner of screen and it should lock scrolling. It should not scroll. That is the behavior. Let's see how to design this. Designing those icons are very simple. We will open our project. In this project, we will create a simple page. This is the project. And I am adding a new file. I will name this file as, this is our, this is our project, and I will add one new file. The file is in public folder. The new file, this is si.html. In this, we are just adding some content, and we want to use some icons here. I'm changing title as aside. Icons, to use icons, you need to link, relation, style sheet, href is node modules, bootstrap icons, font, bootstrap icons.css. Now we want here a simple aside area. In the aside, I want icons one below another. If you want one beside another, you can use a span. One below another, I'm using a div. For this div, class bi Facebook, and another div class bi Instagram, and we have a class bi Twitter, and we have like another div class bi, some bi like LinkedIn, like this. We are designing like this. So, and a div, and we have a class bi that is suppose, what else, YouTube. Okay. Now you can see these are the icons present in that aside area. These are the icons. So, but I want these icons to be right side corner bottom, and they should fix there. They should not scroll along with content. Then first we will go to style. In the style, we are designing. First, we want to access all divs which are present in aside. First, I am writing aside. For aside, I am giving font size. Font size as some 20 pixel. And you can see all these size increase. some 25 pixel, then icon size increase. You want to change color, then we will set color. Color, suppose I am giving color as some blue, some dark color I am just giving like this. This is the color. We have those icons. Now I want some gap between every div. I want some gap between every div. In that case, actually for aside, we will set here background color as white. Background color white means it will have a background color white that you can't see now. Later when content comes, you can observe that. Now one more is where you want this aside. I want aside right side corner bottom. So we need to remove this aside from here. We have to remove and we need to place here in this position we want. If any element should be removed from its place, then we have to apply a style called position as fixed. Or you can also use position as absolute. These two positions, fixed position, absolute position, these two will remove that element from its place. Then what is difference between them? One fixed is it removes and keeps where you want, and it will fix the position there. So that if you are scrolling page up and down, it will not scroll along with page. It is fixed at that location. Absolute is not like that. Absolute means where you place, from there it can later move up and down. But we don't want to move up and down. We want fix at that particular position. Then which position we have to define? Fixed. Where to fix, you have to tell. Where to fix means top how much, right how much, bottom how much, left how much, pixels. How many pixels from top, right and all. That means where you want to keep top, right and all. Let's see how we can do that. Simple. For this aside, we will give now position. What is the position? Fixed. Position is fixed. Okay. Currently, you cannot see anything happening because you have to tell where to fix. I will fix right 0 pixel. Right 0 pixel, it will fix here. But I don't want 0 little bit gap. Then right, I will give 10 pixel. Then it's okay. I want bottom 10 pixel. Then I am using bottom, from bottom 10 pixel. Then it is fine. Now it is at its place where we are looking for. That's it. Now put some paragraphs in your page and see what will happen. Right? And actually, remember, you designed aside. This aside starts here and it will be up to here. It will start there and it will be up to here. It is going to start there and it will be up to here. Because it occupies entire page. It is going to occupy entire page. But what we need to do is, we want up to here. That means only this part we want. Then you need to put width for it. How much width you want, you need to keep the width, right? Let's see here now what we are doing. So we are defining width. Width, how much? Here, how much font size you given, that much. That's enough. That means width, how much font size is there? 25. So let it be 30. Little larger than its font. That's enough. Okay, this is what you configure. After that, now what we need to do is put some paragraphs anywhere in the body. In the body section, I'm copying some paragraphs. Let's go here and copy some paragraphs. You can copy some paragraphs, yeah, and paste in this page. Let's paste some paragraphs directly here. This is some paragraphs of content. Now you can see this is the page. And you can see right side that aside area is present. And try scrolling that and see the content is scrolling, but that is fixed at that place. That you can do by using this concept. So designing aside area with some placements, position absolute or position fixed. Let's see position absolute, what will happen. Suppose I am giving here style, position instead of fixed, absolute. Absolute means it is kept there only, but when I am moving, it will scroll along with content. It should not scroll there. It should be fixed at that place. Then what we have to do, we need to give the position. Position is what? Fixed. The position is fixed, then it is fine. Now it will be scrolling here. You want some gap between them, then you can write like this. Suppose I am writing aside, and observe carefully. Are these divs after the aside or inside aside? They are inside aside. You learn two symbols, no? One is plus. Plus means what? Plus means that comes immediately after. Tilde means anywhere after. Anywhere after is tilde. Immediately after is plus. But actually they are not after, they are inside. Inside means you have to write space. Aside space div. This indicates all the divs which are present inside aside. This indicates all the divs which are present inside aside. Inside aside, now here you can write what you want. You can simply put margin bottom. Margin bottom 15 pixels. Now you can see margin bottom 15, some gap will come. We will adjust the font size a little bit. So 20 pixel. Width also 20 pixel, 22 pixel. Now it's okay. You can adjust that and you can define. You want, you can add padding, background color, foreground color, anything you want. This is the basic design. This is just to understand one concept of what asset. Here, what are the additional effects we are giving? So we have CSS styles. What styles we can use? One is position absolute. Another one is position fixed. These are the two basic things we use. Absolute means what? Removes from specified location, but keeps along with content. That is what actually absolute position is. What is fixed position? Removes from specified location. So and keeps the position fixed. Position fixed. It is not with content. Not with content. It is with page. It is not with the content. It is with the page. Absolute means it is with the content inside the page. And this is nothing but it is relative to the page. So if anything you want to keep it fixed, then this is the important. Later you will see so many options how to use absolute and how to use fixed. For this example, this is enough, right? So I will copy this example for you. This is to understand one simple concept aside. How we can use aside and how we can define the content. Here temporarily, I will put only one paragraph. You copy lot of paragraphs and try. Why? Because in order to practice this, you need some content scrollable. Then only this works, right? Okay, this is which semantic element? We have a semantic element called aside. That is one option. Next, important, in the semantic elements, you have a semantic element called dialogue. Dialogue actually, it is used to create pop-ups, pop-up window in page. It is used to create a pop-up window in page. Actually, dialogue is by default hidden. You can show by using open attribute. You can show by using open attribute. Later, we have to control that with our JavaScript. We have to manually control that with JavaScript. Initially, dialogue is not displayed. Dialogue by default, it is hidden. For example, let's see what we have to define for dialogue. Let's create one simple example here. In the body section, this is general body section, we have empty. Now in the body section, I'm writing a dialogue. In the dialogue, I'm just writing one message. So your comments like this. Later they can put a text box, check box, user can write their comments and all. I just given one your comments. And you can observe here, this dialogue is not there in the page. Dialogue is present, but why it is not displayed in the page? Because it is default hidden state. You have to open, that means in the dialogue, you have to use an attribute called open. When you use the attribute called open, then automatically the dialogue appears here. Actually, later what you do, generally what we do through JavaScript, we will put a close button, we will put OK button, we will open this dialog when user clicks some button. I already showed you, you can see, suppose there is a bell and chat bot here. When user clicks on that, automatically it pops up a dialog. This is actually dialog. We can create such dialog after learning about JavaScript, jQuery and all. Currently, we can just design a dialog. And to make it open, close with buttons and all these, you need to design manually. For that, you need a lot of logic also. It's not just like you write HTML, it works. But the purpose of dialog is to create such pop-ups. By default, dialog is in which state? Hidden. If you don't give this open, what will happen? It is not displayed in the page. And you give open, then it is going to display that in the page. With the CSS, you can control. You want right side corner, you want left side corner, you want center screen, anything you can adjust. Styles we already know. We can adjust its position according to requirement. But what is the main purpose of dialog? It is used for creating pop-ups. So just syntactically, you have to use dialog and with an option called open. Here you can put your content As of now, we are keeping just plain text content. Later, we can add lot of complex content and design complex dialogues. Remember, all are boxes only, all are containers. Aside is a container, article is a container, dialogue is a container, div and span is a container. Then why they have different names? All are containers only. Then why they have different names? Div is a container, aside is a container. So all are containers. Then why they have different names? What reason we discussed? Why they have different names? Why they have different names? What is the reason we discussed for having different names? They are having different names to make the content SEO friendly. That is the main reason. SEO friendly, search engine friendly. That means all are containers. Then why to keep different name containers? Because search engines can classify the content. They will not touch any advertisement when they are searching. They will not touch some other contents when they are searching for some address. That is why we have to use different types of containers. All are containers. For example, see here. I am writing aside. I am writing aside. So this is ads. In a div, I am writing ads. Right? In a simple span, I am writing ads. Right? And in header, I am writing ads. I am writing ads. That means all are containers only. You can see all are ads. And all can have same appearance. Like I am writing like this, aside, like div, comma means all separately. Comma, we have a span, we have an header, we have an header. For all these, I given width as 50 pixel. I given height as 20 pixel. I given border as 1 pixel solid black color. And you can see all looks boxes. Then why you have so many boxes with different names? Now, if a search engine is searching for advertisements, which one it will find out? It will not find out all of them and return them. It will find out only which one. It will find out only the first one. Others, it will not recognize as advertisements. It will ignore them. That is the reason to make them search engine friendly, you need so many semantics. So without that semantics, a simple div is enough to design everything. But why you need lot of semantics? Because to make the page search engine friendly. That is the main aim. Why you have all these semantics. Remember, out of 100 interviews you attend in front-end development, all 100 interviews, they have a question on semantics. That means you are attending interviews on front-end development, web development. It's for as a fresher level. You can expect every interview asks about semantics. So you must be perfect in answering this. Why aside, why article, why dialogues, what is the purpose of them, right? So this is another part, how you can create a dialogue. So we have two options. One is aside, another one is dialogue. Next important, another container is present, and that container is actually, we have a figure with caption. Figure with caption. But for that, we need to learn pictures. Later, we will learn pictures. As of now, just I will show you one part. Actually, so figure element is there. Figure is an element. use it to encapsulate a picture with caption so that it can be SEO friendly. It can be SEO friendly. Generally, how you write figure with caption, syntactically we write like this. We write a simple figure, and here you can put your image. After that, it can have a fixed caption. So the caption for image, and after that close the figure. This is how we need to design. How to keep images, in the next part we will discuss. But remember, every picture we will not put in figure. In a page, lot of pictures are present. If every picture we will not put in figure. Which one we will keep in this figure element? Only the pictures which are to be SEO friendly. Suppose you are displaying a banner. I don't want the banner to display in search engines. Then I will just put it like an ordinary image. If you want a picture in such a way that somebody can search for that photo and get the photo, then we have to put in figure and figure caption. So let's see here. I am writing a simple figure. In this, I will keep a div. So in this div, your image, something, and we have a fixed caption. In the fixed caption, I just given as some figure 1.1, something like this. Or this fixed caption can be defined with some caption. Caption is like, suppose this picture is related to some mobile. I given a mobile like some Realme mobile, like this. Now, this is ordinary. It looks normal. We will do some modification. Wherever figure is present, for figure, we are just giving width as 200 pixel, height as 250 pixel, and we have a border 1 pixel solid black. And inside the figure, there is a div. Then we will access like this. So figure inside space div for this width is 100 and height also 100. And we will just keep a border as 1 pixel, some dotted and some gray color border we are giving. Usually it looks like this. We are having some padding in the figure. Figure have padding as 20 pixel. Then some gap will come. Height of that figure I will adjust. So this to 150 pixel. That looks fine. Actually, we have a picture area with a caption, and later we will learn how to put a picture there. For that, we need to learn other elements. Now, is it necessary to put every picture inside this figure area? No, we don't do that. For example, you see this is a website. In this website, lot of pictures are present. Have they used a figure for all of these? No. They are just directly keeping those pictures. They will keep those images in figure area with a caption only when they want search engine friendly. Search engine friendly means they want to be displayed in such results. Not every picture. So you see, suppose this is the image and this is the caption for that image. Now, if anybody searches for this caption, this photo will come in such results. That photo will come in such results. So search engines becomes little bit friendly. They can identify the picture and they can pick the picture. If you don't want in such results, then don't do that. Just keep ordinary image. How to keep ordinary images, you will see. How do we do that? But this is a simple example of figure and figure caption. Later, you will learn about how to keep the pictures. First, you should know what is the purpose of this container, right? This is another container you need to know. These are all containers. Remember, you are not looking at a real design now. We are going to implement all this in real design. First, we are going to learn what they are. Then we are keeping them all in one real design. Just like previously how we created Netflix and Shopper template. So first, I hope you are clear with all these things. When to use aside? When to use aside? When you are displaying some content which is not related to page, then you have to use aside. When to use dialog? You have to use dialog when you want some content to be hidden and open only when user wants it. Then you have to use a dialog. And when to use figure and figure caption, you want some pictures to be SEO friendly. Then you have to keep them inside figure and using figure caption, right? Next important, another semantic element, we have a nav with menu. Already nav we have learned. We use nav in different places. But actually, the navigation is defined in page by using which element? Nav element. If navigation comprises of various categories, then better use menu. And here one more specialty is, that means generally what we do, we write like this. We write nav. In that nav, if there are so many categories, then generally we use a menu. In this menu, you design all the categories. How to design, I will show you now. This is nav. So is it necessary to use menu every time inside nav? No. Suppose if nav is having only directly plain content, then you just use nav. It is having multiple categories, then you better use a menu. Let's see one simple example how we can do that. Means how we can handle this. Let's see. Here, to create menu, one more thing you have to learn. To create menu, there is another semantic element called details and summary. Details and summary is another semantic element. When you are trying to create menus, these details and summary are required. I will show you what they are. Actually, details and summary is used to create expandable and collapsible content in page. Syntactically, we write like this. We have details have a summary have some title, and under this you can put your content and you can close these details. That is the details and summary. What happens with this, I will show you how it is going to work, right? How it is going to display. Let's see one simple example for that. That means when to use this details and summary, you have to use this details and summary along with nav and menu. Majority of times we use nav and menu. Let's see how it works. Let's create one example here now. I will create one example. Let's add one example here in this page. Delete all these styles. Fine. And let's go here. I'm creating a nav area. In this nav area, I'm just creating one div. For this div, we are adding a simple home. And this home is not having any categories. Home is just plain content. Okay. Next, we are adding several contents with categories now. Then we will recommend to use a menu. Now in this menu, you want several categories. Then every category is designed with details. Every category is designed with details. In this details, we will put a summary. Summary, the category is electronics. And under this, we will keep the divs now. Electronics means we have televisions. Okay, electronics means we have like mobiles. Electronics means we have some watches like this. This is one details. Let's create another detail. I am adding one more detail in the menu. This detail is a summary, like we have like footwear. Footwear, we have a div, and this div is like some casuals. So we have a div like some sneakers. So we have a div like some boots like this. Now we are adding another details. We are adding another details. In these details, we have a summary like fashion. So we have a div like kids. So we have a div like women. So we have a div like men like this. These are all options. Now, usually it looks like this. It looks like this. That is details and summary. So you have a home and you have a menu. And in this, you have categories called electronics, footwear, and fashion. When you click on electronics, those electronic products will come. The footwear products will come. The fashion products will come. We have to arrange them in a perfect order. We have to create them in a perfect order. These are called details and summary. This is the navigation part. So see what I am doing now here. We will create a design that depends on style. We are creating a nav. For this nav, I will give width as 150 pixel. And for this background color, so I will just give a background color, border. Border as 1 pixel, solid gray color border. Okay. This is the nav part. Okay. Height. I will give the height as some 400 pixel. That is the height for the navigation part. This is the original size. And the nav is having padding. Padding is 20 pixel. That gives some gap around it. And in this nav, you have these divs and items available now. I will do just one thing here. I will write like this now, in that wherever div is present. So that means how to write nav space div. Wherever div is present. So width is 100 pixel. Then padding is 5 pixel, 4 pixel. And background color is some black. Color is some white. And we will give something else like border radius. Border radius 5 pixel. Then you can see all the divs look like this. That is the home you are having. And in this electronics, footwear, fashion, all these we are having. Now we will give every div margin bottom as 10 pixel. That means some gap will come for everyone. You can see. And you can add margin top as 5 pixel. So some gap will come here. You can see like this. This is actually details and summary we are having. And observe carefully, lot of content is there. If lot of content is there, you can see it is going outside the navigation area. It is going outside this navigation area. Navigation height, suppose I given height as 350 pixels. Now you can see the height is 350 pixel. You can adjust all others also. How do we adjust? We have a menu. We have a menu. The menu margin left is suppose minus 20 pixel. That means you can see the menu comes little left, minus 40 pixel. Then you can see the menu comes in the same line. Now what we are doing here, so we are giving details and summary expandable like this. And observe carefully, when I click fashion, it comes outside that area. If your container height is not sufficient for viewing the content inside, then you can do one simple trick. What is the trick is, what is happening now? Content is overflowing. When content is overflowing, for this navigation, just you have to keep overflow as auto. When you keep overflow auto, see what will happen now. I expand this electronics, I expand this footwear, expand this fashion, a scroll bar will come. It will not go outside. This is the correct way to display large content, because you can't take it outside that screen. So you need to just put overflow. That's it. Now every div, if you want, so every div, we will put margin left as 10 pixel. That means you see every div will move little bit left like this. It will be moving like this. And if you expand this, automatically a scroll bar will come. The scroll bar completely depends on the height and the content that you have inside. And this is actually details and summary. Observe carefully now. By default, what happens? All the categories are in collapsed state. All the categories are in collapsed state. You can see by default, all the categories are in collapsed state. This is. So here, details is by default in collapsed state. You can use open attribute to expand. That is what we do. That means what you can do is, whenever you write details, you can set open, same like dialog. By default, you can see here, all are in collapsed state. Generally, websites, what they do, whenever anybody opens their website, by default, one category they will expand and show. Suppose I want footwear to expand and show. Then just what you have to do, go to the footwear details, and here you keep it as open. Then automatically footwear is kept open always. You can keep all open if you want. Later, if they want, they can collapse. Right? By default, whenever page loads, footwear is open. You can keep all of them as open. Suppose I will not keep in between. I will just keep the first one as open by default. Then you say open. This is okay. Now you can see by default electronics is open. This is a simple navigation with menu. How you can create a navigation with menu. Navigation with menu requires one more combination very much used. What is that combination? Details and summary. Details and summary are used for creating such expandable, collapsible contents. Right? For that, usually what we do, so we create with these attributes. These are the elements. For nav, we need a nav area. Items in navigation are defined in menu. And if the items need expandable, collapsible behavior, then you have to define with the details and summary. You can use this details and summary in such a way that user can expand and collapse. In this, usually while creating such navigation, we apply a lot of techniques and tricks, CSS related. For example, how do we know which category user is choosing? a simple trick we can apply. What the trick is nothing but actually in the navigation, wherever div is present, its background color is how much? What is it? Black, and foreground color is white. I will do one thing here. Simply, I am writing here in the navigation, wherever div is present. When mouse is over the div, that means we will use colon hover. Actually, this hover is a class. We call it as a CSS class. This CSS class will verify whether the mouse is over that particular element or not. If mouse is over this div, hover means mouse is over the div, then what will happen? I will just put background color yellow and I will put color as black. That's what we want to do. And you can see that when mouse is over, it will display like this, so that we can know which one user is choosing. So that means because it needs to know which one user is choosing. That is important. You can't simply design in a blind folded design that every time it looks same. Right? Mouse is going on a button, it will change its appearance. Right? How user knows that it is highlighted? You need to apply these type of effects. When mouse is over, you can see it will get those effect and display. You can add any effect. I am just changing color. You can change font size. You can make it large and display. For example, you see now here, we will define one simple technique here. See, I will go to the background hover. I will set font size. Font size, I will just keep it as 23 pixels. And you can see that font size is increasing for them. When mouse is over, the font size is changing for them. That means not just changing the color, we can change the font size. Not only changing the font size, actually we can do a lot of work. Like when I move the mouse onto it, hand symbol should come. Actually cursor symbol is coming, text symbol, hand symbol should come. Then what we do? On hover, we will put a cursor as grab. Grab is, hand symbol is called grab. You put the cursor grab, you can see here, it is going to display that symbol, hand symbol will come. When I move the mouse onto that, you can see there is an hand symbol on that. That means there will be hand symbol here. One more important is, actually, see, this is normal. When I move the mouse onto it, it is changing its appearance. This is called transformation. That means an element is transforming from one state to another. How much time it is taking to transform? How much time it is taking to transform? Within a fraction of second, it is changing. This also we can control. Now see how we can control. What we can do is, on hover, it is applying these effects. And to apply these effects, it just takes a fraction of 1 millisecond. But we can do one thing. We can set transition as 2 seconds. Transition 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 1 second. You can give milliseconds also, like milliseconds. I will give transition 2 seconds. Then see what happens. What does transition means? Means how much time it should take to apply all these. How much time it should take to apply all these. Let's see now. When I move the mouse, it will slowly apply. This is not fast. This is slow. That means you move the mouse onto it, it will be displayed slowly. It is applying those effects, not fast. This is slow. We call this as transition. And important, these kind of effects are very common because you see websites, when you move the mouse onto particular, it starts zooming. Its size increases. That is very simple. We can easily handle that. That's not a complex thing. That means, for example, you see here, this is okay. I hope you understood. This one example I will show you. This is one example. This example contains details, summary, nav, and menu. All the combination. I will show you some other points how people design it. Means how usually people design. Let's do one thing here. Means what are the different techniques people follow for this? Let's create one design to do. Yep. So here I am creating a simple navigation first, a small simple navigation. In this, I am creating a div. Okay. In this, we have a span. Okay. In this, we have a class BI. BI is suppose house. House is defined. Okay. That is the default one symbol is there. That is the house symbol we are having. Now, similarly, there is another div in that span. Here we are having BI. We given suppose call, phone, some contact is there. So we will say schedule, right? I'll say calendar is there, calendar date fill. Okay, like this. This is a calendar icon is there. Okay, so I will add another div and with a span. So class, some BI. So BI person fill. Person fill. Okay, this is another icon we are having. Okay, one more. I will just give here a span class BI cart 4. Okay, these are all the options we are having. Now, what is the point is when I move the mouse onto it, their name should come. How do we design that? That means, for example, so here what I am doing in the navigation, wherever the span is there, div here, right? Let's put some appearance here. I'm just using nav wherever div is present. For that, we are adding in that div, we are just adding one simple background color as we will say black and color as white, padding as 2 pixel, little gap, border radius is 40 pixel. You can see all these come like this. Let's put some more padding as 5 pixel and width as some 20 pixel. All these look like this, huh? Right? So this border radius is 50 pixel. Okay, and width is 20 pixel, 18 pixel. That's fine. And every element margin bottom is 20 pixel, some gap. That's fine. That is the basic. Just I given some circles for that. Just we created a simple nav. And what should happen is when mouse is over, I want to display the tip beside it. The tip beside it. That means what they are. House, that means home, appointments, sign in, cart. Such options we want to define. Right? That means now see what I am doing here. Beside every icon, I will keep another span. Another span. This span is having like house, that means home, and you usually see it will come like this. right? That is inside the div, we are keeping that home like option we are displaying. Now what I need to do is I need to keep it outside. Outside that we need to display the tip. That means now actually this span should not be inside it, inside the div. But if I keep outside the div, what will happen? It will come below. That is below. It is coming below. So for example, suppose I'm just giving this as class, and I will give as title. Okay. That is the title class. I'm adding dot what? Title. So margin top as minus 20 pixel like this. Then this is actually margin bottom. I will reduce this. This will be like this, that the margin bottom is not required as of now. It is no. Okay. This is home. Now observe carefully. Just first we will achieve this appearance for every title. So we will put here title. I will give effects. After this is the title. After this, okay, what should be the title here? Some appoint, we will put one schedule, simple appointment, lengthy word, schedule, that's fine. Okay, and one more we will put here a span. Another, let's keep short names because lengthy will be not good. We'll say sign in. Okay. And here we will put another one is cart. So cart. Okay, like this. These are the titles we are having for them. I'm just keeping as of now one below another. One below another. Now what should happen here is, so title, I'm giving margin bottom as 10 pixels, some gap. Every title will have some gap. Fine. 10 is enough, right? Now I don't want this title to display as of now. I want them to display only when mouse is over on that particular icons. Then how? So for all these, BI house, BI calendar, these are the divs which are having them. For these divs, I will put a class called icon. Okay, that is the icon class. For every div, I am keeping that icon class. First icon, second icon, third icon, fourth icon. Okay, these are the icons we are having. Now what happens is, this span comes after icon. Span comes after icon. That means how to access icon class? Just we have to use dot icon. The span that comes after icon, that means we have to use plus span. What it should be? Display as none. Display as none. I'm just using that. It's not displaying. We are not displaying, right? The display set to none. Actually, now what happens is, when I move the mouse onto it, then it should display. That means you can have some gap between that. So suppose you see margin bottom as 20 pixel, some gap will be there. Now when I move the mouse onto it, then it should display. Then it's simple. What you will do? So we have to write dot icon. On that icon, mouse is over. That means you have to use colon. What it is? Hover. Then what should happen? The span beside its display should be blocked. Display block means display below. You can use display inline. Inline means display beside. Inline means it will display beside. Block means it will display below. That means now what happens when I move the mouse onto it? You can see it is displaying block. Even I written inline, because actually they are divs. Divs automatically come one below another, right? As of now, we are giving this display. Let's remove this bottom margin for your convenience sake. You see the mouse, it will display those details like this. That means when I move the mouse onto it, it will display that information and it will show. That means it is accessing and displaying. Initially, we don't display the titles. When mouse is over, we display those titles. This is what generally several websites will do. Because these days we watch websites on mobiles. We don't want lengthy names of icons. Just short, simple icon. When user touches that, then display. Right? When user touches that icon, then show what he want to see. Then, and important, this timing you can set. Here, see how much time it is taking to display, how much time it is taking to display. So it is just transition. Transition I given as 2 seconds. Then you can see it slowly opens up. So this is for which one? Display, na? It is not transforming. Transforming means we have to give little bit font size. Font size how much? 15 pixel, okay. Small size. And what is it? Transition. Transition how many seconds? 2 seconds. For that span timing, how much? Default icon span display is none. We are just having the display here. What is the original font size it is having? We never given font size. So icon span here. Yeah. Icon in that span font size. Suppose it is 15 pixel. On mouse over, we will change to 20 pixel. Just a little font size will be changing. Okay. Now, original size is how many pixels? So hover, where is this? Another one, mouse is over. Let me check where we are changing this. Acha, span hover is not there. We will do one thing. Here we will keep transition 2 seconds. Transition 2 seconds. It is working for div. Let's check the div where it is. We need to apply for div. Where we are applying? Because we are using lot of icons divs, na? We will use here span. Let's check the div. Transition to no, that icons, they are not in one container. That is the effect it is happening. I will do one thing. Anything you saw? Means here, when we are displaying this small problem, means containers problem. the container problem is coming, because as I designed separate containers I created. That is the reason. Some timing should come for this on hover. So now in that nav we have all the divs now. Div and hover. Font size is default 20 pixel, transition 2 seconds. Okay, fine. The transition timing is we wrongly kept for which one? Now it's fine. Now normal again, go back normal. Then we have to write here what we have to give. Transition. Transition how much? Here also 2 seconds. That means it will come in 2 seconds, go in 2 seconds. Now you can see it will not be immediate. It will be slowly displaying that. It will be changing the font size, and the font size is again going back, right? This you can control by using transition. That means the timing you have to set by using transition. This is basically when you want to add some timing before the transition happens. Now, if you want to control the timing, means what is the concept? Transformation means it is changing from one state to another. And if you are changing from one state to another, immediately we don't want to change. We want to take some time. Then you can set by using transform. This is one simple design of how we create mouse over display. I'll just tell you one more time here. I will copy this example. Let's create simple one more time so that you can understand. One small point I will give here. So let's take a simple nav. Here we are giving nav. In the navigation, we have a div. In the div, we have a span. The span have class BI. BI as what? House fill. Suppose this is what we are having. Now, what is the point? When mouse is over, its title should come. Then where to display the title? We can put the title beside. I will keep here house. Right? Then what happens is you can see default it is displayed. Right? What we will do now, we will write a simple logic. What is the logic here? So inside the div, which span, because both are spans now, how to access this span? We will put a class. What is the class? Title. So inside the div, actually, just simply, you can just directly access title, display as none. Display as none means it will not show. When it should display? When mouse is over the div. Just simply in the navigation, wherever div is present, when mouse is hover, what should happen? When mouse is hover, span inside, title should display now. How to access the title? Title is a class, right? How to access title? Suppose I given title display. Display is what? Suppose inline. I am writing like this. Display inline, that means it will display like this. We have two options. Display inline, we have display block. We can use display block. Display block means it will come below. Inline means it will come beside. Previously, it was not possible because previously width is very small. We created a small circle. Now. In that circle, it cannot display. So if you keep display as inline, what will happen? It is going to display just beside. It is going to just display beside. That's what we generally do. The same thing you handle for all others. That means wherever this div is present, another one. Suppose next one I given as person fill. And for this, we given as sign in like options. That means when mouse is over, the sign in, the house options will come. We don't want directly to display. When mouse is over, it should display. By default, it is hidden. That's a simple trick every time we use, right? And actually displaying with a lot of effects, we can display. Sometimes you will see it can slide from left, slide from right. It can zoom and come like that. If you want to give effects, then you need CSS. In CSS, you will learn transitions. Those transitions allows you to put with some effects. This is very popularly used with navigation, right? Just what you have to do whenever it is page is opened, by default title will not display. When the title will display, when mouse is over the div, the title should display again, right? And you can add lot of other effects also. That means it's not just displaying. You can add font size, you can add colors, effects. Suppose actually color I given as red, something color I given red, that means it will display that. We can add colors, font size, styles, anything, right? These are simple tricks that we apply while creating such navigation. Understood? So mouse over, that is one effect that generally we apply, right? Mouse over is written by using which class? Actually, here a simple point I will give. What is colon hover, which I used here? Actually, generally we call this as, it is a CSS class that defines effects, when mouse pointer is over the element. You can try another. Instead of using hover, some people what they do is they use active. Instead of hover, they use active. Some websites use this active, not hover. Hover is okay. Very active means this is nothing but it is a CSS class. It is a CSS class that defines effects. When you hold down mouse button on element. When you hold down mouse button on element, it will do. For example, you see, I will change this hover. Instead of hover, change this to active. Instead of hover, change this to active. And you see now, when I mouse over, it's not displayed. Active means what? I hold down the button. Hold down the button, it will come. Until I hold down the button, I release the button, it will hide. It is not mouse over. Hold down, it will display. Release, it will hide. You can use active or you can use hover. Depends. Some websites, what they do is when they mouse down, it will open up and display. And release. Here, so you see body semantics for layout. Can you give the list of all semantics we learned up to now in the body? First one is what? Header. Another one, footer. Another one, section. Next one, main. And next, article. We learned article also, na? Like Okay, so next option, next is what? Dialogue. Another one, menu. Next what? Today we learned few more. Details. Another one is summary. These are all the semantic. Anything else we missed? All are here now, right? These are all the body semantic elements. How we can use these semantic elements. Now, you are clear understanding all these semantic elements. Now, by using these elements, now we will design one example. That means we will take a website sample. Now, using these elements, we will try to design. In that, now pictures, links, other combinations will come. Paragraphs, headings, everything. That means now you just learned all these elements purpose. But now we will keep all of these and we will create one example. Then you will understand where and how to keep all this content situation wise, right? That we'll see in next session. Tomorrow we will do that. Today you need to practice all these examples, right? All these examples I will upload into the classroom. You have to get it from there. And from today onwards, your classroom code changes. You have to join this class code. The previous class will not work anymore. So you have to join the new class code is this. The new class code is this. From today onwards, you have to join this class code. Understood? And till the end of the session, now this class code will be maintained. Okay. Right. All of you have to join this class code. Right. From today onwards, all the notes. Here, I will upload all the classroom notes, examples, and I will upload one HTML document, which will contain complete HTML tutorial, end to end, A to Z, everything, whatever we are going to learn. But examples, batch wise, they will change. For every batch, we don't give same example. In that case, examples I will upload class wise, topic wise. Rest of complete HTML tutorial, one document I will upload, you can go through. Okay. Then what we will do tomorrow, in tomorrow's session, we will learn some elements, headings, paragraphs, how to design, and we will take one sample of website. That website sample we will try to create with all the concept you have learned up to now. That website sample is nothing but we have shopper template now. That shopper template we will continue now. How to design rest of the template. Now we can create the rest of template. Okay, tomorrow we'll see.